The next type of method I want to talk about is the void method. A void method does not return a value and is called strictly for the effects of the code that's within the definition of the method. Now, if that doesn't make a lot of sense, it'll become clear once we see some examples. This lesson will introduce you to some simple examples of void methods, and then in the next lesson, where we talk about reference parameters, I'll show you a classic example of a useful void method. But first of all, I just want to show you the logistics of how void methods work. So let's say we want to write a heading that might be displayed at several times in our program, or some sort of message, like maybe our name and the date. I'm just trying to pick something simple. And we'll call this a heading, and here's how you write a void method. You begin with the keyword static, followed by the keyword void, and then the name of the method, which we're going to call heading. So in this heading, we're just going to write out a little banner. Again, I'm not trying to do anything fancy here. Just trying to give you a demonstration of how it works. So we're going to put a few asterisks together. Then maybe a name. I'll just put my last name in here. And again, I'm not trying to make this look particularly good. And then maybe the date. Then we'll close it out with another line of asterisks. So now, when I want to call the method, I just simply call it. Notice I have to use the empty parentheses even though I don't have any data to pass in as an argument. So let's compile and run this program and see what it looks like. Again, it doesn't do much. So a void method, when it's called, will simply execute the lines of code inside the definition and then return. So when I called heading, all it did was wrote out my heading, the lines that are inside the definition for the method, and then returned to the program. If I had something to do after the heading, then it would have performed those tasks just like any other program. But all I wanted to do was show you how the void method is called. Void methods are always called in a line by themselves because they don't have a return value, so they won't fit anyplace else. And again, you write a void method strictly for the effect of the code that's inside the definition. Now, void methods can have parameters. So what I could have done is I could have added two parameters to this method and had it print like so. Now, I'm not going to have the spacing exactly right here, but I'm not going to worry about that too much because I'm having to try to concatenate these strings together. So I'm going to be off by a little bit, and that's okay. I'll put another space there. And if it's wrong, I can easily adjust it after I see how the output looks. So now I can call the method with data like so. Let's clear the screen, recompile, and run it. Now you see I'm off by a little bit on those closing asterisks. But you get the idea. So a void method is called for the effects of the code that's inside the definition. It can have parameters, and the rules for the parameters and arguments are the same as for value returning functions. Anytime you have a long series of calculations or computations, even if it's just printing out data, that you're going to perform over and over again, it's a good idea to put those into a void method. So like if I need to use this heading in several different places in a program or in several different programs, it makes sense to write it out as a void method. In the next lesson, we're going to look at how the Java compiler works with the arguments and parameters that are passed to a method. These types of parameters are called value parameters, and they have important properties that you need to understand when you're working with methods. And we're going to cover that in the next lesson.